Well, thank you so much, Catherine. Right now, we're going to talk money, and we got our favorite money guy here. This is Michael Carlin. We're talking about finances and divorce, something that's really rough, both handling your money and going through a divorce.
Right. I mean, people always worry, like, what if the market goes down? What if I lose some money here? What about losing half?
I know.
That's why taking care of your money through the divorce process is key and critical.
Now, you say that, during the stock market, if you lost 20% of your investments, 30%, you can make a comeback. But when it's 50% or more, especially in a divorce, that could be devastating.
Yeah, unfortunately, you see in divorces, a lot of people, sometimes it takes them a lifetime to recover financially.
Wow.
So we really want to make sure we get these key points across to make sure people avoid making some critical mistakes.
Well, you say that they need to have a financial guru.
Right.
What does that encompass, and what does it entail?
Well, so if you've ever known anyone who's gone through a divorce,
yeah, it's rough.
Right, it's rough, and so it's emotional. And how do you take some of that emotion out? Is that you need good, unemotional, disciplined guidance. So you can get that from a lawyer, you can get that from a financial advisor with real experience in divorce, or they have a certified divorce expert. Get yourself a therapist too. You're looking for that unbiased team to help you.
A therapist, that's interesting, because I never heard of someone having a therapist while they're going through divorce proceedings. The financial planner, of course the attorney, but a therapist.
Yeah, you want to just try to do things to keep yourself in balance emotionally, because you don't want to make, again, that financial decision or that emotional mistake that can cause you harm for years down the road.
And you're talking a mental health professional, someone that can help you stay balanced, stay focused. Wow, interesting things to know. You also say it's important to organize all of your documents, and at this time in your life, you are frazzled. Most people are. So trying to get everything, it's hard enough organizing just your papers for your taxes.
I know.
Let alone a divorce, and that's years of paper.
So here's the thing though, but you need to do this because you're trying to figure out, because you may or may not have been in charge of your finances, but you want to get a sense of the history. You also want to get a sense, if you get the historical 5 years worth of documents, you'll get a sense, was your spouse trying to move money out? I mean, you see all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So if you get a nice long 5-year snapshot of all the bank accounts, credit card accounts, those kind of things, you'll get a sense of the history.
All right, and you also say that other things are real important, like your tax returns,
Yeah.
because sometimes you're going to be splitting the tax return. And some people do it, like if they've had the divorce and then taxes are due, and they're going to be splitting this money. That could be so tricky. You
want to know whether or not when you're splitting things up, do I have half of a tax liability or do I have half of a refund coming to me?
Right.
You need the tax returns to know.
And you also got to think about your retirement, your appraisal items, especially if you had like fine artwork and stuff like that.
Get those appraisals, get them. Get the jewelry appraisals, all that stuff.
You say that everyone needs to look at their credit history, and it's even more vital when you're getting a divorce, because it could affect your credit and it could bring it down.
There's a few different things. I mean, so one, you're going to want to make sure you get a sense for what are the credit cards that are out there, what accounts do we have. The credit report has that, so go to www.annualcreditreport.com. You can get a free credit report. It's comprehensive once a year. The other thing that you're going to want to know with your credit report is you're going to want to get a sense for what your credit score is, because again, when you do separate, is that your spouse may be the one with the good credit that may be propping up your credit.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to want to get a handle on that before the divorce goes through.
All right.
Which leads us into the next, which is make sure you go ahead and get a credit card.
Like I say, you have to get your own credit. You have to. It's like you are really starting your life all over. You got to reestablish your own credit, which has your changed name on it and everything, and you're starting from scratch.
And but before you get that divorce and before your name is changed, I want to make sure you have a credit card in your own name.
Okay.
For another reason is that make sure you have access to cash. Divorces can get a little crazy.
Okay, that's a good tip to know.
Yeah, you don't want to get stuck without cash.
Oh my gosh.
Or an access to funds, and divorces we've seen it all. So.
Well, let's see, we got about 30 seconds. You say crafting a new budget, because now your money is completely different. So what are the steps that someone needs to do?
Well, lots of people say, well, so I'm half the couple I used to be. I have half the budget that I need. No, that's not the case. So go through and figure out what rent and the health insurance and car payments are going to look like, and recraft your budget.
And make sure you change out those beneficiaries.
You got to, because you would be surprised is that divorces happen, you don't change your beneficiaries, someone dies, and then the money goes to your ex-spouse.
And you don't want that.
And in some cases, most cases, you don't want that. In life insurance too, all of that stuff.
You got to manage those funds. And if you want more information, that's the website. Go to managethefunds.com. Michael, you were fantastic. Thank you for the tips and information. When we come back, Catherine's going to be talking with an author who wrote the book From Broken to Badass.